In May every year, what is said to be Japan's most difficult test is held in Kyoto. It is the 8th grade, or Hachidan, qualifying exam for the sport of Japanese fencing known as kendo. As his ability advances through practice, a kendoist ascends along the grades of dan. Although the ultimate grade is the 10th, Hachidan is the highest level to be granted through a performance test. The examination is held twice a year, in May in Kyoto and in November in Tokyo. The test is justifiably billed as the nation's hardest examination because of its extremely low pass rate. The state examination to become a lawyer, undoubtedly one of the hardest in Japan, has a pass rate of only 3%, while that of the Hachidan test often results in less than 1%. Still, from all over the country, 721 aspirants have come to try to pass through the narrowest eye of any needle in Japan. More than 2 million people practice kendo in Japan. The number of kendoists who have been awarded this certificate total a mere 400 since World War II. The Hachidan is virtually the highest level possible through perpetual training, and only 1 in 5,000 kendoists actually achieve it. The test itself lasts a long time, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning and finishing at 9 in the evening. To pass the examination, candidates must make it through 2 extremely uncompromising rounds of screening, which consist of 4 bouts, as well as a judging of their kendo technique and a written test. There are also strict prerequisites demanded of applicants. The applicant must be at least 46 years old, with a minimum of 8 years' experience in the 7th grade. The idea behind the prerequisites is that the 8th dan is only attainable if the kendoist has matured as a person. Among those gathered here is one competitor who has won Kendo's highest title, the All-Japan Championship. Kenichi Ishida is 48 years old. Even this former champion has been unsuccessful in his 4 attempts to reach Hachidan. He's back for his 5th challenge. Now begins the first screening to test candidates' skills. Every year, 90% of candidates are eliminated at this stage. Each kendoist fights 2 two-minute bouts in front of a panel of judges. The applicant must convince the judges that he deserves a qualifying grade in the bouts, which last only 120 seconds each. There are 7 judges in each match area in the first screening. All the judges are kendoists of substantial competence and experience, who have been qualified as Hachidan for at least 15 years. To pass the first screening, the candidate must win 5 votes from the 7 judges. The judging criteria are not based on who wins or who loses each bout. Rather, the judges scrutinize the candidate's mental and technical capacity, determining whether the candidate has attained an unshakable character and if the spirit of his attack is genuine. No accidental point scoring is considered in the judgment. To prepare himself for the test, Ishida has been conducting a lone morning practice session. Every morning, he gets up at 4:30 and takes the first train to work. When he was still actively competing, Ishida was renowned for his agile footwork and flexibility, which enabled him to deliver a stroke regardless of the posture he happened to be in. At the age of 33, he crushed all opposition in the All Japan Championship with physical strength, speed, and winning instinct. As a competitor, he had developed an instinct to win at kendo. This, he now thinks, is a barrier hindering his success in the Hachidan test. After finishing school, Ishida joined the Osaka police and played kendo competitively while belonging to the police riot squad. He's now a kendo instructor at the police academy. By striking this dummy, he wants to rid himself of artful techniques so as to deliver only purposeful blows. When he had been competing, Ishida's top priority was to reach his opponent's forearm or head a fraction of a second before they attacked him. In the Hachidan test, however, the judges will not acknowledge a blow unless the kendoist throws the opponent's composure and delivers a positive strike. Ishida's daily routine is to train the competitive kendoists in the Osaka police force, including some all-Japan champions. His students led the Japanese national team to victory this year at the World Championship. With a height of only 171 centimeters, Ishida's build is of no particular physical advantage as an athlete. Still, he is never outdone by his trainees, many of whom exceed 180 centimeters and are in their 20s and 30s. In kendo, one's insight into an opponent's next move is a crucial factor. For this reason, kendo is often described as a sport in which experience is more valuable than youth. As well as practicing his cutting blows against these young competitive players, Ishida receives instruction from some Hachidan kendoists. In kendo, from the moment the two players cross shinai, or bamboo swords, their struggle over two vital elements gets underway. The battle to secure the center line, as well as maintaining the ma'ai, or optimum distance from one's opponent. To dominate the center line, the players engage in a tactical exchange, parrying their shinai and letting their shinai's 3-centimeter wide tips spring back as they aim at each other's throat. If you make a move while the center line is controlled by your opponent, you'll definitely receive a thrust. It is also crucial to secure the most desirable distance for your moves. This is called the ma'ai. A misjudgment about the ma'ai by even 1 centimeter will make your attack ineffective. As you feel out these two vital elements, the ma'ai and the center line, the moment to initiate a strike will arise. Ishida has been training his instinct to react at the precise moment of attack, devoid of any incidental movement.
剣道で求めるのは僕ら偉そうなこと言われませんけども危険体値のうちをみんな求めてやってるわけです。 気と剣と体ですね。それが一つになれば銃の撃ちになるんです。パーッというわけでね。それを目指してやってるわけなんですけどね。それが出れば取ります。出そうと思って出るもんじゃないんですね、これね。その辺が難しいんですね。出そうとして意識して硬くなると余計出ませんしね。
Ishida's previous attempts have been a series of trial and error. He failed his first attempt because he delivered blows as furiously as he had as a competitor. In his second attempt, he put too much emphasis on form after hearing someone say that style was important to be eligible for Hachidan. Again, he failed. In his third attempt, he tried to concentrate on delivering a determined strike, but it only resulted in making him too nervous. This time, he will simply try to concentrate on effortlessly releasing what he has mastered through training. There are kendoists who have been attempting this test for more than 20 years. 78-year-old Kai Miyamoto from Shimizu is one of them. He has never failed to attend a test every year. This is his 24th challenge. Old age doesn't hinder many of the kendoists from undertaking the Hachidan test. This year, 112 out of 721 applicants are 70 years or older. Miyamoto is regarded as the most promising candidate for Hachidan of all the older competitors. Last year, aged 77, he managed to clear the first screening, breaking the record of the oldest successful candidate. He failed the second screening, however.
ところで80以上がね、8人今度。ああ、そうですか。8人？あんた仲間か。そこまで、ここでね、まだまだ。もう仕上がってもいい頃なんだ。仕上がっちゃったつもりが仕上がってよ。邪魔でしょうがないよ。下り坂になって。邪魔でしょうがない。邪魔になって。下り坂になってたよ。まあいいやな。いや、お互いに頑張ってよ。本当。
Miyamoto has competed in the national sports meeting 3 times, leading the Shizuoka team. He retired from a directorship in a food company at the age of 60 and built a fencing hall in his backyard. His life has been devoted to kendo ever since. He now has 40 students, including children and adults, and is the chairman of the Shimizu Kendo Federation. Miyamoto's kendo was interrupted for about 10 years because of World War II and post-war turmoil. He was 58 years old when he first became eligible for the Hachidan test. He was 65 when he initially passed the first screening. Since turning 70 years of age, he has cleared the first screening 3 times. Miyamoto has been training with the belief that a kendoist's ability can continue to improve even throughout his old age. His belief is supported by the observations of a famous kendoist who was called the Great Swordsman from the late 1920s until the early 1970s. The Great Swordsman remained beyond the reach of his competitors until he was over 80. Born in 1885, Moriji Mochida was awarded the 10th grade Dan for his unparalleled ability as a kendoist. He continued to practice kendo and to make insightful observations into the very essence of the sport until he collapsed at 89.
It took me 50 years to learn the basics of kendo using my body. After I turned 50, I started the real discipline. I wanted to perform kendo using my mind and spirit. When you reach 60, your lower body weakens. I used my mind to try to reverse the drawbacks. When you're 70, your whole body weakens. That's when I trained my mind to be imperturbable. With a still mind, the mirror inside you reflects the opponent's mind.
Miyamoto considers the Hachidan examination as a means of gauging his progress in training his mind.
自然の中に自然体でしかも相手を攻める。で攻めて向こうがこれではたまらん切羽詰まって打とう。こういう形にさせなきゃいけないというんでそういう点が足んないってことですな。だから腹がもっとできなきゃいけないと思うんですけども、おどおどおどおどしちゃうんだ。打ちたくなっちゃう。平然としてしかも相手よりもね気持ちも内も相手よりも勝ってるということになれば文句ないんですよね。それを劣る。劣るか互角。悪いのに互角。
To overcome his weakness, Miyamoto visits other kendo halls all over Shizuoka to seek advice and training. He often calls on a Hachidan kendoist, Tadatoshi Haga, for a training session. Haga is 2 years senior to Miyamoto, and they respect each other as fellow seekers of the ultimate swordsmanship. Miyamoto believes that kendo is a lifelong pursuit. Regardless of one's age, a clear and humble mind, willing to accept advice from others, is vital in the quest. 78-year-old Miyamoto is a 7th grade Dan, while 80-year-old Haga is a Hachidan, or 8th grade Dan. Now the senior kendoists are ready to start a session.
もうちょっと本当試合やってるつもりでそれでチャンスを使う。おいさん急いじゃダメだ年寄りが。はいもっとゆっくりゆっくり。そうそれよ。こっちが攻めてないとさもう線の切れなければダメ。もう一本ねってさ先だってからご知恵あったことは昨日頭の中にはしょっちゅう銘じて稽古ごとに少しでも思い出しちゃうのでそれで気をつけてやるようにするわけですね。一つでもものになったらありがたいと思っておりますけどね。はい、難しいしかしまあもちろん永遠に難しいわけですけどね永久に難しい。難しいや本当に。
A bout lasts only 120 seconds. In the first screening, 9 out of 10 candidates are eliminated. The time is approaching for the former All-Japan champion, Kenichi Ishida, candidate number 117A, to put himself through the test. He has a vivid memory of a bout he once fought when he managed to resist his acute desire to win.
剣道日本一10分間の戦いが始まりました。主審は安倍さんです。右が小坂、左が石田。
It was the All-Japan Championship final 15 years ago. Ishida desperately wanted to win. He wanted to imprint his victory into his dying son's memory.
互いに一歩も譲りませんね。
2 months earlier, Ishida had been told that his son Koji was suffering from cancer and did not have long to live. Ishida had dreamt of starting to train his only son when he reached school age. Ishida wanted to cheer up his dying son by winning the title.
「こんな考え方で稽古したらダメなん分かってますけどね、うちの息子を殺すっていうか病気で死ぬんですけど相手やとそうとめちゃくちゃ行きましたよ。それめちゃくちゃこんなんじゃなくてね、そういう気持ちでね稽古しました。
やっぱり優勝っていうのは子供にとってはそれが全てですのでね、で楽しみにしてましたしね、お父さんは強いんだっていうね、子供がもう亡くなる、そういうことに神様が少しでもねご慈悲があったら優勝ねさせてもらえたらもう一生感謝するななんて、そういう気持ちもありましたよ。ただやっぱり見てられなかったですね。
石田の動きがだいぶ活発になってきました。決まった。石田の小手が決まりました。石田初優勝です。出てくるところ出元ですね。出元ですね。手元が上がりましたから。剣道日本一は石田健一電子6段の上に輝きました。
3 months after Ishida brought home the trophy, Koji died following a battle with cancer.